Sand play. Sand play is an important resource in early years settings for children as they can learn lots of scientific and mathematical concepts. It also has therapeutic properties and can be used wet or dry. Here are some things to think about when providing sand play. Equipment and resources. Silver sand or children's play sand should be used with young children as it is especially made for play use and will not stain skin and clothing or irritate their eyes if they accidentally rub them with sandy hands, like coarser sand will. Sand can be used both indoors and outside and should be available every day for children to use as it has therapeutic qualities. Different containers can be used for sand play, such as washing up bowls, trays, or plastic toy boxes, as well as the traditional sand tray usually found in settings. Some settings may have a beach room if they have enough space, and this will allow the younger children to access the sand also as they can crawl right into it. It will be beneficial to have a dustpan and brush available so that children can help to contain the sand if it gets messy to prevent slips and falls. Sand trays can have all kinds of scooping and pouring equipment in them, such as old plastic bottles with holes in the sides, jugs, funnels, tubing and buckets, spades and scoops for wet sand, rakes and sieves for dry sand, stacking cups and containers, empty plant pots, and sand wheels and moulds. Toys can be placed in there also. For example, police cars, fire engines, and ambulances can be put into the sand tray to show the people in our community who help us in an emergency. Perhaps you could put in diggers and trucks if there are roadworks nearby to show how people help the community by making roads safe and pavements to walk on. Transport in the community can be reflected by putting cars, buses and trains in the sandpit, and children can make roadways, tunnels and hills to drive around. Fire engines and ambulances, police cars and postal vans can be put in the sand tray to be driven along to any emergency. Children can learn to play creatively together while learning through their senses and using their imagination. By providing different ways to play with familiar materials, it will increase the opportunities for learning. By using dry sand on a shallow tray, you can encourage children to draw numbers in the sand with their fingers. Games can be played in dry or wet sand, searching for bugs buried within it. Simply place some plastic mini beasts in the sand and some plastic spoons or spades for the children to dig around with. A wormery or ant farm can be made for children to observe these creatures over time, but they should always be returned to their natural habitat when finished observing them. Seasonal items can be placed in the sand tray, like leaves, conkers, acorns and twigs, or alternatively seashells. Do not be afraid to experiment, as children love exploring new materials and new experiences. A sand tray can become a farmyard or a zoo by adding animals to it. The children can make shelters for them and play fences and jeeps and tractors used to support their imagination. You could also use the sand tray as a desert for animals to roam or lizards and snakes. By using a tarpaulin sheet to cover the ground, you can put sand onto it to provide a makeshift beach for the children to sit on and make sand castles or search for shells. This is particularly good for younger children as they can crawl straight into the sand as it's on their level. Other ideas for including in sand play: buckets, animals, hidden treasure, dinosaurs, cars, trucks, mini beasts and sieves, sand wheels, shells, plant pots, bottles, hoses, plant pots, funnels, seashells, coloured sand, puddles, containers of different shapes, moulds, trowels and rakes, sticks and stones, railway, sand timers, miniature equipment, diggers, cooking utensils, scoops and spoons, balancing scales, natural objects, graded containers for measuring, tea strainers or a tea set. Thank you for listening. Here are my contact details. Please subscribe to the channel.